All right, I think we're on. Um, Welcome, India versus Benelux. I'm here joined with debut caster Brisk. Say what's up.
What's up, everybody? Super excited to cast my first match ever, actually. And
Yeah, what a
I mean,
stage.
this is yeah, this is a pretty big one to be casting for the first time, but I'm very excited. It's gonna be a great war today. Are we gonna get a look at the lineups here soon?
Yeah, and for those who don't understand the World Cup format currently, every team gets eliminated after they win three or they lose three. Currently, this is a match between two teams who won their first match. So, a 1-0 team versus a 1-0 team. Whoever wins this match like potentially only has to play one more match to advance into the top eight as the first seed. So that's a pretty big advantage because the first seed compared to like whoever's gonna finish eighth, that's that's like almost a guarantee to semifinals, I feel like. But
Yeah,
we can
for
start
sure.
off with the India lineup. I think we're gonna see this lineup every single match because you see their subs. They only have they only have like three subs. Pix and Pi are the same person, so they only have Insane, Rahul, and Z Devil on the bench, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we can start with Emil P, the team captain, really the person who's put the most work into this World Cup. So a huge shout out to him. He's done so much work for us
Yeah, for sure.
and putting in some long hours, and now we're gonna be watching his stream as well. I mean, yeah, what do you want to say?
Perfect. I really like this lineup, honestly. I mean, that is right now all four of those players are playing in D1 and under. I mean, he's already a pretty established bagger. So Emil, Jaker, Ornan, and Pix. And honestly, my favorite thing about this lineup is, I mean, when the team started forming in about like late March, early April, this team they just started scrimming right away. Like lots of wars. Me and Zesti playing in Team Can. We played against them a lot, and I asked Under earlier today how many scrims they played as a team, and the answer was 62. That's
Really?
62
Oh my
scrims
god.
as a team in the months leading up to the World Cup. So they're ready. They've been practicing, and you can tell they really just they want to win. And with this lineup they have, I really think that's very possible.
Yeah, and what's crazy about this team is I'm pretty sure all four players have reached Grandmaster. I don't think there's any other team in the World Cup that can say that. So,
Yep. Yep.
alongside 62 scrims, like we know these guys aren't just Mogi players, especially not Emil. Jaker does play his Mogis. Same with the other three, honestly, but 62 scrims deep. I don't think any team has grinded as hard as this team. It's kind of weird to see them seeded the fifth seed going into this, and
It's true.
because like I can see this team making it to finals, like
Oh,
genuinely
absolutely. Yeah.
with all the practice they put in. I think their weak spot is their bagger. Under currently bagging D3 this season with Final Stand. Their Beati Pacifici, I think is how you say it. But yeah,
Definitely.
not a D1 bagger. I don't know where people would rank him amongst D1 baggers. Probably near the bottom if you were to play there. So that is the weak spot. But I
That's
mean,
great.
they
Yeah.
know so much about the game. Under has a lot of like good experience with IF and some other big clans, and especially with these India scrims. I think he is ready. We can move on to the Benelux lineup.
Yeah. So we got Dane, Jeff, Leonardo, and Leops and Dragonfly bagging it up. So I also asked these guys about their scrim count, and they have played a total of 22. So
Not
less
bad.
than India. Not still not bad though, honestly. For a team that was kind of they didn't play last World Cup, you feel like they might have been a bit thrown together. Uh, Jeff and Leops, obviously, everyone knows them, pretty established, top 10 players, uh, pretty widely agreed. Dane playing in D1 this season, and I actually looked at GSC this morning, and he dropped a fat 130 in a 12-0 win against Heaven. So he's looking pretty ready. Um, yeah, and Leonardo, not sure where he's playing this season, but also a great player.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise with this lineup is D-Fly playing over Yoris. I think a lot of people expected Yoris to be playing, but from what I know, Jeff and Leops decided that D-Fly is the better bagger, and this is his time to shine. I mean, D-Fly versus Under, when you look at what divs these guys are playing in, This is a D3 versus D4 bagging matchup, but I think we all know that these players are capable of playing much higher levels. So
Yep.
very interesting. If we do see some flubs, you know why. But at the same time, this is going to be such an amazing match. And here we are. We have Emil P and Leops as our pawns, like two of the best players in the game. Starting off with Leops. Leops starting at 7th place is pretty interesting, but
Yeah,
here we
definitely
go.
interesting. I mean, he's definitely one of the fastest players on the team, but starting from the lower spot, you get a better item. Triple Shroom's right there, so he's going to be able to get up there. Jeff taking a cut as well, so it's a great matchup up here in the front with Leops and Jeff versus Jaker.
Ooh,
Leops
looks
going
like
to take
Jake.
his yep,
Yeah, it
3
looks like
Shrooms to the
Jake
cut
got
and
a
getting the
Nana
first.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nana in first here. You can. It's pretty easy to snowball on this track because if you get a ground star, then a green shell first set, you can take both cuts pretty much. Let's see if that's going to happen. Doesn't look like it. Under is
Ground
going to
star
drop
from
a star
under,
though.
yeah.
Yeah. Good start for
And Leops
Leops.
getting the green shell, so he's definitely going to be able to take the Shroom, expand his lead. Jeff doing a little swerving in second, but Emil snuck his way up into second with the ground star.
Does get redded
Not,
out though. Let's
yeah,
switch to Emil P here. See
yeah.
what's going on with him. If he has
Leops
any
taking
good
another Shroom
items.
blow.
Looks like Emil P's stream is further behind. We can switch back to Leops then.
Get a
We
little
can,
replay here.
yeah, we can figure that out later. But Leops in first. Always interested to see what sort of backslam this guy pulls out because he doesn't usually go for the obvious ones. But as we see there, maybe in top 2, you just go for obvious stuff, just double back
Yeah,
everything, and
yeah.
he gets a hit.
Yeah, I mean, the backspam spots on this track, they're really good, honestly. Down the waterfall, bottom of the waterfall. You might see him put something in the shortcut here, getting that ground star. No, he's going to hold his green for the Shroomba, probably the better decision, but I think it's him and Jeff breaking away in top 2 right now, and without the
Yeah,
shot,
it
it's going to be really
is.
hard for India to crack that up.
Blooper Shroomba should be
Yep.
easy. Yep, for a guy like Leops, that's cake work. Emil's
Yeah.
still in the back. It's gonna be pretty easy to see where Emil is, so we'll know one of their positions every time. But Jake's pretty much been in a 1v2. I mean, we can't even call this a 1v2. It's been a 1v1 between him and Jake in 2-3. There is a blue coming in, and he can still keep second. Is there a
Yeah.
combo coming though?
No item in the tunnels. Generally a pretty bad spot to be. And there's the red shell. It's just impossible to break unless you do some real
Yeah.
shenanigans.
I was
And yeah, the red
expecting
lands.
I was expecting Jeff to keep second there to make sure that doesn't happen. Maybe Jeff didn't have an item himself, and Jeff's getting killed too.
Our red, is it gonna get him? No, it looks like he broke it. I think it's gonna be a 2-4 for BNL, 2-4-6-7 maybe. Not really sure what happened to everyone else that race. I mean, we saw
Yeah.
Leops and Jeff up there in the front. We saw Jaker, Bitsu, and Ornan. Not sure what the story was in bottom 4. And was it a shockless race? I think it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, it
So
was. But I'm confused how Jeff didn't win that race. Like, he
yeah,
wasn't in first when that POW hit, so he must have hit a Nana, might have got redded. I'm
not
not
sure.
sure how he loses that, but yeah, my problem with that race is I thought Jeff should have stayed in second there after Leops got blued, but maybe Jeff wasted a back spam to hit Jake and it didn't hit, and Jake just had a
Yeah.
red for either one of them, and he
Mhm.
ends up winning that race. Really, really well played by Jake.
Yeah.
One of the I can't even say underrated, but I think a few years ago I would have had him in my world lineups.
Yeah, I mean, I would still think that he's underrated. I mean, when you talk about a lot of people have their top 5 conversations, they'll throw in players uh, Fox, Jeff, Bros, and Xander, people like that. But Jager kind of gets underlooked. But I definitely think he's got the skill, and he does plays the game a lot, so he can definitely put himself in that top 5 conversation. 2-4-6-8 for BNL. They're gonna go with DK Summit as their track pick. And DDR from India. Pretty standard picks for mixed spots. DDR going to be coming out, so we'll see. I believe it's Jaker in first. No doubt he can hold it down for the first few turns.
Yeah, this is a great pick here. Let's see if it is Jeff in second. I mean, the toughest company you could possibly have. Let's see what Jeff tries to do. Does he even go for stand up in second? I
Yep,
think,
sneaks the box in fourth. It's pretty
yeah,
hard to do.
Jake looks like he's still in first, and with triple nanas,
He got
ooh,
one of them.
I think
But now he's
I
got
think
triple
it's
reds.
a
He's set
one
up
for
pretty
one
nicely.
trade. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he got Jeff and Ornan.
Gonna throw the reds up, just try to get rid of Jager's protection, maybe get a red on him here. Kind of hard to break. Both making the wall glitch.
Already a
Early
bill in
build,
play.
Dane.
Yeah.
Jaker seems to have failed a bit. It's gonna be Dane in first, Leops in second with triple reds. It's gonna be hard for Jake to break this up. I mean,
Yeah, and the reason why Bill is used is because I only see one bagger in the room.
oh,
I don't see
yeah, you might
D-Fly
be
at
right about
all.
that.
Oh, I'm not
So,
sure what's going on.
yeah, I
Under
mean, with
looks
the
like he
way,
has it
yeah,
already. He's going forward.
yeah, that's a 1-4-5, and they're up a player and a shock. So this is gonna be really hard for BNL this race.
Yeah, and I mean, Jeff and Leops, I'm pretty sure were at the. They made the decision to play D-Fly, but his time in the limelight might be over if he can't stay in the room. And
Yeah,
with a TC here, this is like a huge opportunity to just break away in this match.
gets him
So
after
early
the
into it.
set. And Jeff's going around the ultra here. I mean, unless Leo has does not look like Leo has. It's definitely gonna be an India shock, but they don't really seem to need to use. Leo went around
Yeah,
the cut. Not sure
I
what he's
believe
doing.
Emil's in first, and Under's the bagger driving
Running
in front of
ahead,
him.
yeah.
So I mean, this just looks so bad. Jeff's back here, Leops is back here. I think Dane's the only hope in this race. There's so many shot calls you could make, but you don't even have to. Leops
Spams the
spams
bill.
Bill. Like he
Kind of
knows
stops
there's
an
nothing he can
early
do.
India shock. Yeah, stopping a shock into the set, but they really don't need to do that. Maybe they're holding a star. Someone's in a star. Can't tell who it is.
Gets
Oh, he gets
sniped.
sniped. Oh, not sure who
Late
made that
shock
play.
as well.
Pix pulls the bill
And
last
bottom
set.
two.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and I guess that was the problem with spamming Bill. You do give someone a chance to get it. And top 256, if you're Benelux, you're not that devastated by that, considering you literally had to give them that race pretty much.
Yeah.
But we should be seeing a reset here.
Yeah. I mean, the disconnects is
Unfortunate way to
just,
start for
yeah.
Benelux.
There's really not much you can do with the disconnects. I mean, it happens and the race counts, but you just feel like you're just fighting an uphill battle, and it's just really hard to win the race. They got a guaranteed shock, and your bagger can't even help you out, drop stars, do anything. You're just down a man. They got the shock. I mean,
Yeah,
3-4 bottom two is not terrible, considering all that.
it isn't, yeah.
And the snipe
One
at the end
thing
too.
that's one thing that's interesting is these season like big matches like this can really take a toll on someone's mental, and
Yeah.
especially a team like Benelux who has Jeff, someone who's known for having his fits every now and then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just very frustrating because they had Bill in that race. I'm not sure if Dragonfly DC'd like on the starting line, so that Bill was pretty evident that it was gonna go to someone in eighth, but
Yeah.
they're forced to use two unoptimal builds really just to try and fight their way into that race, and they don't. So
Yeah.
not optimal at all. We'll see if D-Fly will stay in this match. That's actually pretty interesting to talk
It's
about.
gonna be interesting. I mean, I'm not sure if it was a situation where Doris couldn't play, or they just chose DFly to go over him. But if he can't connect the room, then you really got no choice.
Yeah, I believe they wanted D-Fly to play over Yoris.
Right. When I think
So
back to like last year's world, or I guess the 2021 and 2020 World Cup, I feel like I remember Doris bagging every match, or Neo. Not sure what those guys' statuses are, but yeah, I mean, we can talk about the lineups a bit more. I think something I wanted to mention was for this Benelux team is I'm sure they played before my time on Weem 5, but NL was usually the way it went, and Jeff was sort of, like excluded a bit because living in Luxembourg. Other than Knicks, just they really couldn't pull like enough for their own tournament team. But
yeah,
this year, deciding to join up, I mean, it's really good for the whole community because, I mean, you just want to see the best match possible. But those NL
exactly.
teams, yeah, like I remember 2020, I think NL had a pretty good run, and it was like, especially Leops, I remember he was really just a force in that World Cup. I think he 16 in the semifinals or something against a USA team. Like, yeah, he's just when he's playing for NL, he seems like he's a really big threat.
Yeah, One thing I want to say about Leops, these are usually the type of teams he likes to run. Like he played with MW2. I feel like Leops is a player who likes to be in command, be able to tell his players what to do, and not
Yeah,
have players that can really refute that. And Jeff being in that lineup maybe changes that for him because last time, he was so dominant. He was
yeah.
dominant because he was the leader of that clan. And
Hmm.
now with Jeff there, another player who's an in-game leader for his own clan in Ethereal.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that dynamic plays out, but they both agreed to play with each other going
Yeah.
into this World Cup, so
That was
very
honestly
interesting.
a bit of a surprise to me. I mean, I don't want to get too much into, there's beef and, we try to stay away from that kind of stuff, but between these two players, the history generally has not been in recent
Yeah,
years, the history has
yeah,
not
for
been
sure.
too great. YouTube videos, tweets, stuff like that, but I'm really glad to see they just put it all behind them and are playing this year. I mean, it's great for the game.
Yeah, it really is. I'm not sure if we fixed the stream delays too. I'm not sure if we can take a
Right.
look at how many people. Oh,
Oh, we're
there we
back
are.
on. All right,
Perfect.
perfect. So
Looks like,
I don't think it's fixed,
yeah,
but we're just gonna watch layups again. I mean, no problem with
yeah.
that. He's hopping into cut, getting the box in seventh. Um,
He
were
was
the spots
definitely,
reclaimed or
he,
was it just regular
uh,
1-3-5-7?
I think it was just regular 1-3-5-7. So Golden at fifth here. If Emil's not gonna go out of his way to try and hit Leops here, but he gets bombed. Oh my god.
Yikes. That's just really
Bot
bad. I
bottom
mean, that
three already.
yeah, that golden in fifth, you golden up at the net. That's a ticket to getting back into the race, getting in the top spot. Bomb just ends it right there. Not sure. I saw Dragonfly. Not sure if the other bagger was ahead or behind, but I think Dragonfly was ahead. So obviously can attract Shock being really good. It looks like they really need it. Sorry, was that NL in last right now? Are they bottom
I
three? I
think
think.
it is bottom three. So India are
Yeah.
in really dominating positions. They might even call an early shock if they get it. Doesn't look like it, but Dane up here, but not really up there to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Jake
You
and
really need
Orn
to
in
be.
top two. So many great backspam spots here.
And a potential ground star here could really just sink the race. Watch out for the Wiggler. Don't think there was any ground star, but I mean 3-4 without a blue, and you're not gonna count on Jake or Ornan falling off. So you really just gotta kind of hope you can get the blue and maybe the shock to get yourself back in this race. Just flying a bit with a meal there. I mean, normally I would say if the other team is in top spots, flagging is maybe not the best idea, but I mean those triple
Yeah,
reds
he's
aren't
he's
gonna
not
help
gonna
you get
waste too
Ornan
much
out of there.
time.
Yeah, just
Bill
like
in
you gotta come
play.
into the half. Who's that billing up?
Both
Jeff
baggers
billing
are
up.
in
3-4-5
the
with a shock
baggers.
now?
I don't
No.
know. I think someone has it. Like the baggers aren't close to each other on the map. I'm pretty sure. We can check
Deflex?
here. Doesn't look like there's any baggers sitting there, so someone has it.
I saw
I
Defly
think Under
back
has
there. I
it.
think Under has it. Yeah, so that's top
Because
two.
there's no reason why Jeff would have built there where he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So India holding on to shock. They don't know Leops has a mega. He could first frame. No, he's just gonna use it to get into second with that little wheelie strat.
Nice
Jake
play.
lives, I think.
Didn't get him. A little bit of lag there, but keeps the
Shock on the ramp
Sherm.
maybe from Jake. Yeah,
Yep,
he does
shock on
call
the
it.
ramp.
Is
Should
it
be
gonna
able
be
to
enough?
beat Leops. No.
No.
2-4-5-6, I think that was Jeff. So that's a bottom two. I mean, shock onto the ramp there. It's hard to time it perfectly, and it doesn't gain a ton of time, so you really just got to be close to the other guy, and hopefully, your guy dodges in the back. Like that's a very common pattern on this track. Although this time we didn't see a lap 3 shock, but a very common pattern would be like a lap 3 shock in the cannon, and just about around the time of the last ramp race finishing, someone could get a shock, spam it there at the end, but a little bit too
Yeah.
little too late there, but they still managed to get 1-3 bottom 2. That's a winning race. +1, +3, I think +1. So they're not going to be too upset with that, especially after that DC race for Dragonfly. They've given themselves a small cushion to sort of they can just stack some neutral races, small races here.
Yeah, and Benelux, despite I think they lost it by one. That's a really well played race. They did everything they could to make sure that shock wasn't used to get a huge race there, especially on a cannon track. It's so hard to do. Even if someone uses Builder, there's still an incentive to call that shock, and I guess they just didn't think it was worth And
Yeah.
looking back on it, because they got such a okay race,
I mean,
if
yeah.
you
I
look at it
feel
from
like
India's perspective, maybe there was something they could have done.
yeah. I mean, when you're top 2 and the guy's building up in third, even if you dodge him, you're isolating yourself from pretty much everybody in top 3, and that guy's still
Yeah.
gonna be behind you. And it's pretty hard unless you get a bomb or triple reds or something, some sort of miracle to get those two out of top 2 with that room. I feel like they definitely should have shocked there, but they still end up with a +1 race, which I'm sure they're not too upset about.
And Leops
Gold mine,
instantly
yeah,
loses his top spot there. I mean,
and doesn't get a
I feel like
box,
I feel like he should have known that was gonna happen, but kind of
and he's
lazy on the controller and he's off too.
yeah. This is just, and now he's kind of stuck in the back. This is a notoriously hard track to catch up on without a shock. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
there's the deadly TS, but the shock count, I mean, it hasn't been looking great for NL so far. Haven't
Both
like,
baggers still
yeah,
sitting, so it's just gonna be both baggers just going for that box at 30. Maybe there could be a troll as well. It's a pretty common troll spot.
yeah. I just saw D-Fly there. Jaker's off, and Orin's
Emil in
back here
first.
too. So it's Emil in first with the Daisy. I think he's
Keep an
got
eye
some
on the
NL members
bagger.
up there.
Yeah, the bagger's gonna be the most important part of this race. Let's see who it is. Leops is gonna bag for this 8th place box.
Could be
I
indicative of
don't know
a
who's in 10th.
possible
It's
NL shock.
under?
I
Yeah, it's under.
think it's under. I think that was Dragonfly who just fell off and respawned, so it's under in 10th again. Um,
Leo's off. Wow.
Leo off 6-8, just again not looking great. I see picks in the mix there with Ornan, so I'm gonna assume it's something like a 1-4-5 right now for
Yeah, it is a
India.
3v2 though in favor of India in the top spots.
Yeah,
And they have the best spot in first place. There's a lot of pressure on these NL players. And looks like they're handling it pretty well because Ornan's there, Pix is there. Looks like 2-3 still for NL. There is a
Leo.
really good snipe spot. And a POW here could do big damage.
Yeah, Leop's chaining a star there. I don't know if I agree with that because I mean the shock did not. Oh,
Under's
something
off.
happened. Under,
So if
under doesn't
anyone
have it
has
anyway,
it,
so using
yeah,
a star there
D-Fly
does
might
make
get it.
sense. Can you get a star here in 7th? No. It looks like it's gonna be 6-7. Still not too sure what's going on in the top spots. Emil actually still in first. Someone's spinning out. I think it was Pix. And
Ornan's
Ornan's off.
off.
So that's
Wow.
gonna be like I think it's gonna be a 2-3-6 maybe. 2-3-6-7,
I think it's
2-3-6-8.
I think India got bottom 2 though, right? Because Ornan fell off and was Jake in last the entire race? I'm pretty sure he was.
I thought Leo was back there, maybe. Or did he end
Oh,
up getting up
maybe.
there? I think it was Leo who was in the
Uh,
back. He was off at some point, I think before the TS ramp lap 2. Not sure though.
oh yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be like a 2-3-6. Oh no, it was bottom 2. Leo got up there. You're right.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know what I was saying, but okay. Another like good salvage considering BNL have not been in like commanding positions, right? We've seen
Yeah, no, for
India
sure.
dominate a lot of top spots, but they're really just I mean, this is what you see in top gameplay. You're just able to stay in races despite not having the best situations. We saw Leops
Exactly.
had nothing. He couldn't do anything after getting bumped off, but still his
Seriously.
teammates got his back there. Really
I
well
know,
played
and
by Jeff and I think Leo. No, not Leo.
I
Jeff
think it would
and
have been Dane.
yeah, Jeff and Dane there winning that 3v2, and
Yeah.
Ornan just getting destroyed at the end.
I mean, at the D1 level, a lot of it comes down to what can you do that doesn't involve the blue or the shock, right? Like,
Yeah.
mixed spots there in the front, Leop or Emil P in first, sorry, and getting that 2-3-4 at the end, it all comes down to can you get that snipe, can you get that outline, you know, and a lot of it is better items, true, like maybe you get that mega, those triple reds, but I mean it's just it comes down to a lot of skill there in the front spots. Grumble Volcano, I really like this track. Personally, I think it's like probably one of the best war tracks. Does come down a lot to the shock, and I wouldn't say it's just a major like luck track for the shock. I mean, if you get a golden, you're obviously going to be in a better spot, but there's some risk involved because going backwards after 30, you're giving that bagger a box in 10 guaranteed, and an opportunity to pull it.
Yeah,
Screw
there's
here,
a
but
lot
also
of weird
PC.
strategies here. Another
Yeah,
bad start for Leops. This is not looking good for him. What do you have to do on this track? You gotta try and disrupt the rock takers. We see a respawn taker. Lap 1 respawn. Maybe he was getting redded and had to do
probably
it.
getting
There's
bumped,
really no.
redded.
Yeah.
Star gonna go around, probably the wise decision. Failing Star Rocket
Might
just
go for a
put you
bagger here. No, he
way
doesn't.
back. Doesn't go for the bagger. That would have been a good choice, but they're right next to each other, so it's pretty hard. I think they're both sitting, and someone's just trying to get a box in 10.
Yeah, honestly, this is what GV's come down to over the past few years. You just sit there, and someone has to make the first move and give up a box 10 while going for that strat. Emil losing his first place. He's dead
And getting
last now.
starred. Yep. Triple Shrooms here for Leops. I mean, this isn't too bad. He's going to be able to take the rock, I'm sure, very cleanly. I think it might be Leo in first. Him or Ornan. I think it is,
Yeah,
though. Yeah, it's Leo in
Leo
first.
134. This is such a good position now for Leops. We haven't seen him in many so
Yeah.
far.
Oh, for sure. 134.
And
I mean, now it's
Ornan
just
is in
the
a
shrooms.
look at this map. I mean, Ornan has to live here. If he has a shroom, he's probably shaking because one red, one back spam, and he's losing this race. Let's see. This is
Definitely
all
see.
up to
Leo
Ornan
went on
here.
the top route. Not sure what he did. We'll really just have to see what Ornan does in the 1v3. He might have a shroom. Yeah, I think he does
Yeah,
have a
he
shroom.
does.
Him and Jeff taking cut with Leops as
No
well. They're gonna
shock,
shock
probably.
out.
No, I think
Probably no shock.
no
Yeah.
shock.
Looks like it's probably gonna be a 2-3-4. I think Leo should be able to beat the cut takers behind. Yep, there's Leo, so that's gonna be a 2-3-4-5. There's Dane. Another good race there for NL. Can't get that elusive first place, but good race. Really well
Very-
played by Ornan, I'm gonna say,
Very
because
interesting from Leo though. You said he went top path. Like he had a
Yeah.
really good chance to just pressure. Like he could have done anything there to Ornan. Like Jeff would have given a green light on any sort of backspam there.
oh for sure.
Because Jeff needs Ornan to fail in order to beat him, and that
And
just didn't happen.
It's pretty obvious if someone has shrooms. I mean, they take the rock hop and they're not using anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a gamble there. There could be something like where Jeff decides him and Ornan both have shrooms. Does he want to try to be the aggressor and try to get a red or a green and take Ornan out? I mean, that's definitely an option when your team is most of the top spots. But I mean, really well played by Ornan. I mean, you've got Jeff behind you, and Leops and Leo. He managed to get ahead of Jeff and take the cut in front of him. That's not easy to do, and he managed to somewhat salvage it for his team. But I think we got a really close war now.
Yeah, and that was just both bags are just asking for information there. Should I go for it? Should I not go for it? And in the end, we saw I think it was D-Fly just constantly starring under, so he couldn't even spam a last second shot. That's a really smart play there because, like, I'm assuming India's like, please spam it if you can, and they're just there's literally nothing under could do. He's literally he doesn't even have to have the controller in his hands. He's just getting constantly start and star bash.
Yep. I think we're still trying to work on Emil's perspective, but honestly, watching layups, not that bad. We don't get a real full sense because we can only see him, and the packs really tend to be a bit split right now in this room. So back on MC3, common track for if you're first and bottom spots because it's not impossible to run. You know, there's a lot of shroom spots, but there's also some good backspam spots, and taking good lines does actually really help you out. So
yeah, if someone can get golden lap 1 without stopping, you can easily run this track, and Ornan just gonna try and do that without the golden. He's just gonna run.
Done pretty well so far. I mean, a lot of NL just got hit out early. I think he backspammed Leo pretty quickly. Now it's just Leops, and he's got to go against Ornan and Pix, and he's already hit out. So that's just going to be a top 2, and they can break away, hit some double backspams here, Ornan and Pix.
Yeah,
3, 4,
like I've
5,
been saying, India just like these lap 1s are almost always going to India. It seems like maybe not last race, but most of them, like Ornan, Pix, everyone's just playing their part, winning these lap 1s. And if you win your lap 1s, and if you're in a winning position after lap 1, you have a great opportunity to dominate the race, but blue shells are a thing.
Yeah. Gets him a little bit before the boost bounce, so he's going to lose some time there. Looks like a 2-4 still. One of the first blues
Still
on this
in
map.
play, I think.
Nice snipe from Leo. Someone build up. That's a 2-3, and Bill obviously means a lot for the baggers on this track because if you barrel, there's just nowhere you can lose if you pull the Bill. So
Emil had a golden at top spot too. It looks like he's gonna win. This looks like such an easy top 2. Was there a blue?
How is that blue gonna get Emil on the line? Looks like he makes it.
Nah, he crosses easily. Yeah. Should be top 2 if I read that right.
Top 2 for India. I think they get last, and I can't remember. Someone from India I think was in 6 maybe. So looking like a top 2 6-8 maybe. We're not sure again. It's hard with the one perspective, but just from map reading with the Daisy, we know Emil got first, so looking like it's gonna be a winning race for India, probably.
Yeah, I think we are gonna have Emil's POV soon. I think what happened is Leops just didn't set any delay, and Emil does have a
Right.
delay. So hopefully
Yep.
that should be fixed.
Top
Top
two,
two,
6-8.
6-8.
I mean, still really close. That's another winning race for India, but not by much. How many races have we done? Was DDR race 1?
I think it was race 2. I can't even remember.
Well, we've
Yeah,
got
we're 6 races in. We're 6
we're
races
6
in.
races in, so that was race 2, and then we've just played another whole GP here. I think we're just gonna get underway right away.
Yeah, I think we're going to get Emil's POV soon. So, and this
Yeah.
is exactly what we asked for in this match. Super close. No big races so far, I don't think. Have we seen a top 3 or anything like that? Maybe one.
Not
But
sure. 2, 3, 4, 5 we saw. I don't think there was a top 3.
yeah, I'm just
No,
looking at the
it's been
bot
even
here.
races, yeah.
Really, yeah, really nothing splitting these two teams apart.
And
And
yeah, I mean,
Emil's
also a
POV
lot of
is
that,
up.
yeah, a lot of that is due to, I'm gonna say, like, there's been a lot of shockless races.
Yeah, honestly.
And yeah, like MC3, Koopa Cape, there was something else. VV was shockless, I think. There was a shock on DDR, but it came in pretty late. Like, not a lot of those big lap 3, beginning of lap 3, mid lap 3 shocks that really just determine the race. It's been a lot of and also not a lot of blues, I feel like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there has been a lot of chaos just in general.
Yeah, it's really
Just
just
a lot
come down
of
to those,
neutral driving
yeah,
from
and
Leops.
the neutral driving and some nitty-gritty 1v1s shrooming up shortcuts. So I think Moonview Highway gets picked. We're gonna be watching Leops. I think, do we have the Emil Street?
If we have a Emil stream, we should probably give him some respect here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
Okay, yeah, we
Emil
got Emil
gameplay
Stream
for
up,
one. Finally,
going
let's
up for
see.
the wall box in 8th, gonna get a golden
Ooh,
shroom up.
really good item. I think Leops matched his item. No, he didn't. I think Leops got triple shroomed. Emil can't golden up.
Megad by, that might have been his own team.
Three
Yeah,
India are
3 people get
squished.
Megad. Yikes. I mean, I saw Leo in a Mega, I think, but I thought there might have been 2. Not sure. And someone hits the bomb car.
Someone's just like won the race already. Like top 2 is gone.
That might be Jeff in
It's
1. I'm
gotta be
not sure.
Jeff and Leops? Yeah, Jeff and Leops.
Definitely
Top
up breaking
2.
away in top 2. Really gonna be hard for India to get up there. I think that was Leo's Mega Lap 1. It could have been Jeff or Leops's maybe. But yeah, that just fully changed the
No,
race.
I know it wasn't Leops, but yeah, I've been talking about how India have been winning these opening exchanges, but that one they got absolutely destroyed. It's one of those images like you see 3 people mega, you know your race is pretty much over. They needed a lap 2 shock really to have a chance in this race. At least I feel like that's the case. They're gonna have to spam for blues every set.
Yeah.
Emil's not even going for maximum boxes here. I think
I mean,
he
even with
knows
this,
they
yeah.
gotta just try and salvage.
Even with this pack split, like a POW's not even going to be enough for those 2. They're going to handle it well. You already know that. So you need like 1, 2 blues. Ornan shrimming up. Not sure if that's going to do anything. Can you give that TC to Under? No. Maybe Under's holding shock. Leo in a dodge. Oh, didn't see the car there looking back.
I think D-Fly has it. You see where he is on the map.
Yep,
And
yep,
this
sitting up
has
on the
potential
side.
to be our first like huge race. But maybe one of BNL is holding blue. There is some spinning on the line too.
I think Dane dodged. Dane or Leo just dodged, and you know Leops and Jeff were in top 2, but you said you saw some spinning, so we're not sure what happened there.
Might have been a canceled blue at the very end.
Yeah.
I think that
And I
might have been
think
what
Dane
happened.
dodged. That's going to be 8th for Emil. My guess is going to be something like a top 2-4, top 2-5 for India. I mean, dodging on the boost panel there, if you're in like 7th, hard to get a chain, especially from those boxes. But if you go out of your way for a chain, get a golden, you can gain some pretty good ground, even when there's boost panels there when people are small. So could even see a top 3. I think it was Dane that dodged, but yeah, we'll see. Yep, top 2,
Yeah, top
4,
2, 4,
7.
7. Very nice. It's one of those things like when you look back at a race like that, you probably could say like, yeah, we probably could have shocked earlier to get top 3, but we just don't want to risk it, right?
Yeah.
Especially in a war where you haven't seen a big race yet. Like you don't
Mhm.
have to force a shock, especially if they were holding blue, which I don't think they were. But finally, something to build on for Benelux, and first first race on Emil's pod was just horrendous from his perspective. That he had
Yeah.
a chance to get up there and he just got denied by that Mega. His
Yeah.
entire team got denied.
Yeah, I really am curious to know who that was. I think I saw Leo in a mega early. My guess is that it was him unless there was two megas, but I mean, yeah. Wow. Toes Factory or
Now
Peach
there's a
Gardens coming out.
real opportunity to snowball, but as I say that, it's not TF.
Yeah. Uh Gardens, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of different strategies here for the first set. Me personally, I like to just tell my team, feel it out, try to get the box in the best spot possible. Try to have one person run because you'll have that weird situation where no one gets shrooms, no one takes the cut or in like a meaningful spot, and you can just that first is pretty important. Emil stopping, Leo stopping, Jeff as well back here.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of this. There's still a lot of different strategies on this track. A lot of teams like to do top two run when they start in top two. I personally don't like that. I think
I
you
agree.
should let the other team go in 2-3, and you
Yeah,
go in like 4 or 5, because you want triple shrooms. Triple shrooms in fourth can very easily win you a race, and whatever BNL did, it was
Shaker,
working until that snipe.
one for one trade. Shaker, I think, hit the wall, but also sniped somebody out. Dane in first. That's a 1-3. Jeff using shrooms to
Oh,
break
he
the
put
red, but
in.
he still gets
Yeah.
redded. So that's just worst case scenario for him. Dane not taking cut in first. Emil trying to spam a shroom, does not get one. We'll get a better picture when we see people taking the cut here.
Can't switch to Leops here to see where he is in the pack.
Yeah.
And looks like two shrooms 7, not a bad position. He's definitely gonna look to chain these. He doesn't get a box. Let's see. Yeah, he's gonna try so hard for a box. He does get one, and it's
Easy.
TC. Does Jeff have anything for him? Is it even worth? I don't know. I don't
Not
think.
sure about the shock situation again. Gonna try to spam, gets a Jake. Not gonna work. I mean, Jeff has to be holding a dodge, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, that's such a tough call. Do you hold your dodge? I think in most situations, Leops understands that Jeff needs to hold his dodge here. Or
Yeah.
it could have just been a golden from Jeff, and it looks like he's on his way up. Both bags just sitting here. That's
People
just very
taking
strange.
boxes. Yeah, I mean, the bag this war has been really
They
strange.
might be a lap apart. Like this is so weird. I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen this in a while.
Pix is mega, so not sure what happened. That's top three for NL.
This is so bad. Yeah, we can switch to Emil here. Maybe see what he can do up there. He is in Mega. He changed triple shrooms. He has a chance
He
to get
gets a
third.
Leo and a
Shock!
dodge. Gonna
What a
steal that
shock
ground shroom from
there.
Jeff,
Blue as well.
and it hits Dane. Oh
Can he
my
live
god.
though? I don't know. I think he might have still survived. I don't know if that blue changed his spot, but a huge shock from under. They're just both sitting
Wow.
there, and
Wow.
under pulls a huge shock. That's gotta be a 10, 15 point swing.
Yeah, I mean, that's an Emil. He has his moment there. I mean, I feel like I remember last World Cup. This one was maybe a little less impressive, chaining the mega and dodging, but I think it was a war against somebody. He does the glitch and dodges in the star,
Yeah,
and he
I've
just
seen
he's made
that.
for those moments. He's getting it done. Still, despite the blue, they still get 2-4-5-7 or 2-3-5-7, 2-4-5-7.
Yeah, 2-3.
Wow. Okay, so
And
still not even terrible.
looks like people in chat are saying that was a shocking 9 from under, which makes sense. It doesn't like they can't both
They
do it on the
must have been a
same
lap
lap.
apart.
Yeah. And D-Flight gets really unlucky. If he pulls it there, like everyone at BNL knows that, man, if we get it there, that's another big race on their track pick too.
Yep.
And Emil gets perfect items. Mega in fourth into triple shrooms. I don't think he
And that blue
needed
at
the
the
triple
end.
shrooms to win. He maybe just needed a single shroom, but yeah.
Curious to whose blue that was because I mean, when the shock came, it's kind of interesting. He dodged basically around the last turn, so I'm not sure who could have gotten the blue there after shock, unless there were someone else dodged and chained the blue on India. But you would
Yeah.
think they would have gotten a better spot.
I don't
Really
think the blue
weird.
mattered though, because
Yeah,
he still got 2-3.
yeah,
So if it was an India member, you're probably if you know that they still got 2-3, you're like, damn, I got a really bad item there. I could have got
yeah,
something way better.
yeah. Okay,
Jungle
Parkway,
Parkway was that a? I
interesting
think
track.
Yeah. I
I
don't know if
think that was an
everyone picked
India
that.
pick. Yeah, I think it might have been an Indiv pick by somebody. Who knows? Nice job to keep the first there. Just stay in
But
front.
yeah, wow.
He bumped Jeff, but he just gets redded by two people. And
He's just
bumped.
getting bullied
Yeah,
right now.
bottom three.
Bottom three early.
And
You
really the
need
best.
someone to have golden.
Yeah, the best spot is really just to catch up at the end. I mean, you can try goldening up here, but with the tight turns, it's hard to gain like that much time. You really just want to hold to
Yeah.
the end, but that narrow bridge, crazy stuff can happen there. Bomb, stop star, stop mega, and it's pretty hard to avoid. Red
Wow,
breaks on nothing, which is
okay,
pretty
that's
fortunate
actually
for
really
Emil.
good for him. That's so good for him.
Does
But he's
not chain a
oh,
star.
okay.
I
Okay,
might
that
have
might
chained a
tell us
star there, but
something about the bagging battle.
yeah, for
But
sure.
like it's so close. It's not like Under's winning by a lot. He might not even be winning at all. This is just an interesting play. D-Flight might get the box first.
Neck and
So
neck. Not sure what to think about that. Emil just sneakily has his star in fifth. Like, he can do
it
some
is
damage. I
bottom
think
three. It is bottom three BNL.
slowing
So
into the cannon. Under definitely doesn't have the shock. I mean, Emil might have been. He didn't lose too much time. He might have been thinking maybe they shock right here. Like, I just don't want to be. I don't want to use my star, but I also don't want to get like caught in the middle there.
you think you
Uh,
stop start here on bridge this lap? I mean,
Not a
look at
bad
the
idea.
it's top 3-5. I think he might go for it. Let's see.
He
Yeah,
should.
yeah, he does. He
Yep,
he
good
waits
move.
so
Not gonna
late
get
into the
Leops.
bridge.
Definitely could have done a little bit of a better job there, but he changed triple shroom, so he's gonna recover pretty well. Get right up here next to Jeff with a box and forth. Gets a bomb.
Oh, this could be jackpot. Where does
And
he
he,
throw? I think you have to be patient with it. Wait till
yeah,
after
you gotta
cannon.
wait for the
Will
set.
there be a shock though? Yes, there is. He has bomb though. He
ENL
can
shock.
ruin this
Can he
race.
ruin this dodge? I mean, the dodge looking like it's gonna send him to the promised land here in top two.
No.
Greg gets green. Oh, he was at such an awkward distance. He's gonna back bomb.
No,
Nope,
he
Dan
doesn't
lags
even
right
do
through
that.
it.
He had so much to think
Oh,
about there. He could have won the race for his team, but he gets back spammed. He could still win it though. Golden is
back
so good in a tight
golden.
pack.
Watch out for someone chaining your star. That's a nice draft to get. Gotta watch out for picks with the green. Tell him to throw it away. Leo and a star. Is he gonna go for the stop star? Just drive. Emil.
Oh,
Oh
he
no! He gets red. Don't think it mattered too much,
yeah,
but
I don't think
oh,
it
that's a
did.
tragic red.
He had, I mean, that bomb was actually like, if he got triple reds there instead, he would have been such a better position. But he had a chance with that bomb. There's like,
Oh,
he's waiting for that perfect straightaway to throw, and he just couldn't make it there. I think it might have been Ornan who
yeah.
backed that.
I feel like everyone's been in that situation before. You got like, you've got, you've dodged behind them. You really just got to try to get the bomb off, and that's the perfect spot right there. I mean, right after that set, it's a pretty narrow road, and if you time it perfectly, they'll have no time to swerve out of the way, even if they can hear it. But just doesn't happen. Not sure whose green that was. It just kind of hit him in a weird spot, and it really just sent him to the back. But he managed to salvage third with really nice golden at the end, along with the draft. And I think, yeah, we have NL. Not sure if that score's right, but we have NL up by 2 right now. This is shaping up to be an all-time classic World Cup match, and it's only the second match of the World Cup, or second round, I guess. But
Yeah,
wow.
I think that was race 9. So the
Oh
score
no,
should
an
be,
update. Yeah.
yeah, BNL up 9 now. And just taking a quick look at the scores themselves, Jeff is on 97 after 9.
Wow.
Next closest is Emil on 78. So Jeff has
Jeff showing
really
up.
been destroying.
Yeah.
And we really haven't paid a lot of attention to Jeff in this match, but he's just been, I mean, that's what Jeff does. He just scores points, and you don't really notice because
Yeah.
that's just where he is. He
I mean,
always
he's
gets top
silently
spots.
he's just been up there, and I mean, he's definitely one of the harder players to take out. Guy Beach picked by is that Ornan. Definitely not.
Oh
I
my
feel like he might be
god.
getting a little scolded in his car right now, but I think Indy, they're pretty good friends. They seem to have a good time in these wars, so
Yeah, they have really
definitely,
good chemistry, I feel like.
yeah. I mean,
A lot,
62 wars.
yeah, Emil, Ornan, and Jake are all part of KG last season, so definitely some chem there. But one thing I was expecting to see is one of the runners go back. You sometimes see it on this track and on Desert Hills
Yep.
to try and get Bill,
Give
but
their bagger an advantage,
one of
but
the
no one
baggers
does
is
that.
already gone.
Emil waiting for that box to respawn. I mean, honestly, there is no distance too big to come back on this track with a
Yeah,
star dodge and a golden. Like really easy
I
to get back
do
up. Gonna
think
start cooling now.
ooh, interesting. One thing that we have to notice, DeFi is winning the bag battle and he's winning it by a lot. He could already have shock. He's the one
Top
in
3. I
last
know.
at the last set.
Single red. Probably gonna. He hits Dane. Couldn't get his triple greens out in time. But still top 2. Not a terrible spot to be, but I think that's probably gonna be an India member streaming up. Yep, that's Pix getting in the
Yeah, it
first.
is.
Throwing some greens up close to hitting Emil. Or sorry, hitting Leops. Still first. Someone
I
shrooms
can't
there.
tell who has shocks. One of the baggers does jump off. I maybe Under has a ninth. I think he does.
Yeah,
Look
he
at where
does.
he's
I think he does. He's
standing.
sitting
This is
there.
so huge.
And
Blue's
there's a
coming.
blown Pix. Could see a cancel here. Emil's gonna chain a shroom. Maybe spams a mega. Nope. No cancel, which I think is really interesting. And he gets comboed. Pow on the little islands.
Where's
Not
Ornan?
great.
Where's Jake? We need
Triple reds is
shroomers.
a great pull. Leops blocks one,
There's
but he can't
Ornan.
block the
He's
others.
gonna get
Red
both, I
on one, he's
think.
gonna get both.
No,
Oh
he
no.
lives.
Broken the draft
Oh,
at the end. Was that a
damn.
nice little strategy to get second? But
Yeah.
Ornan shroomed up into first on his own track pick. Well done by him. No shock is really weird to see. I mean, Under was just sitting in a really weird place where I don't think anyone ever sits.
Yeah. I mean,
And I really
he's just
thought they would
screaming
have
to
canceled
everyone
blue.
that he has it.
Yeah. I mean, there must have been a BNL member in a star or something.
Yeah, I
But I
don't
mean,
think canceling there is that good of a play, especially I think it gets like bottom whoever BNL's bottom was, it was gonna get him into set and I think he's probably gonna star there. Like they
was
get
it?
1-3-6-8 out of that. It's not bad at all.
Was that before or after the little islands, the where you got blued? Trying to picture it.
Well he got blued right after the island, but I think the bottom spots were further back, like to the point
Right.
where they could have been near the set. Like they could have backed up to the set.
Backed up
And
the set,
I
pull a
think
golden, and there's a lot
Ornan's
of
just
water
calling
there.
that off. Like he knows he can win the race with that with the
Yeah,
golden that he pulled
yeah,
there.
yeah, for sure. I mean, smart play by them. It's easy to get a little trigger happy there. You really got to think about how much does this cancel actually like accomplish for the team.
Yeah, and seeing Emil's items prior
EP
to,
looks
I
like
think they're
someone's gonna
getting spots
take
back.
spots back. Yeah.
Yeah. I,
Um. Let's see. While people are joining room, anything we want to say? I mean, what's the score? Are we thinking scores right here? We've got what is that? 308 to 302 for Benelux. I mean,
yeah.
really
Wow.
as
I mean,
close as you can want it. We've had some great matches so far. We had what was the France and Germany. That was looking like a contender for
insane,
match of the tournament so far.
insane match. Yeah.
Sort of anticlimactic because you feel like Germany might have had a better chance in that last GP if Crash was still there, but gotta give France some credit. I mean, they were definitely the underdog going into the match, and they really showed out. And they're gonna be playing
Yeah.
USA South tomorrow, I believe. Around that one got rescheduled, probably around 3 o'clock. And then right next up, we got a great match. US North versus England. I think is, I mean, this is just back to back great top of D1 top level matches. Um, U.S. North reigning champs, I believe. England
Yeah. I'm
always
trying
been a
to
solid
think.
team.
Like England and US North, I think that might have been a finals matchup some year.
I
I don't
believe
remember if
it
it was
was.
last time.
I think it was England and USA East. I think it was the year that it was USA East, 2020, I
Oh,
believe.
right. Yeah,
So it
that's
would have
probably
been
it.
like Casperinos. Don't think Frozen was playing. But yeah, like that. I remember that being a great matchup. England, don't have some of the classic players like Sean. They got a bit of a newer roster except for Xander. Probably not going to be using Luke GB as much. Gonna go for
Yeah.
some of the newer established D1 players like Fred, Zach, and Bo. I'm really excited to see how they fare on the big stage.
Yeah, the England roster is super interesting because you have Xander, and then you have just three newcomers really into the World Cup and just into the D1 scene. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm receiving word. Yeah, that matchup in 2020 was United Kingdom and USA East.
Right,
Before it
yeah.
was just England. Still pretty similar roster. I mean, well, not really because you got Xander, but these.
I think US East changed a lot because
Yeah,
I believe I do like 2020 Frozen was definitely playing, I believe.
I don't know. I think he still might have been banned at that point from leagues. Like this
I
was
can't remember. Yeah.
can't remember. It definitely would have had Casperinos, probably Mac bagging, and then you throw in Sean, you throw in Edison, maybe Ornan, I believe is
Yeah, a
US
lot of
East.
possibilities. US East was just super
They were a
stacked.
super stacked team. I mean, the last two, it was US East and US North that won. That sort of US Northeast core of players, a lot of the SE guys, Casperinos, who's not playing this year, and Frozen you had, um, really dominant. But maybe this is the year they don't do it. We'll see. I mean, they're still looking like a favorite, even though England is the 1 seed.
Yeah. And for those, if you just joined us, we're at, I think, we're going to race 11 or race 10. I can't even remember, man. Race 11, right.
Race
We're going
11
to
we're
race
going on, so we got
11.
2 races left.
Benelux is up 6, but India are taking back their spots. They got top 2, 5, 6. So that's what they're joining in. So they have a chance to really pick a strong track here.
9 in the
Well,
room. Let me see, yeah.
what do you think they're gonna pick? Top 2, 5,
Top
6.
two,
We've
five,
played a
six.
lot of great tracks. Like Moonview
Played
would probably
Moonview's a
be the one.
classic for that one, but we've
Yeah,
already played that. I mean, here's what I think. You've got Emil P, and you've got top two. I think BCW is a pretty good idea here. I mean, I'm sure everyone in this room is capable of taking a pretty solid glitch, but you've got the man himself, left side, right side, Shroomless. He'll do it all. Like he kind of runs that track, and I feel like that's what I'm picking if I'm India here.
you also
And if
have
you,
DK
yeah,
Mountain, which is
DK
another
Mountain's also a
interesting
good
pick.
pick.
Top 2, 5, 6, and you have a Daisy. I think I'd like to hear what chat thinks about Daisy on DK Mountain because it used to be a big deal. It's like on DK Mountain and DK Jungle Parkway, but nowadays I don't really feel that, but I guess I don't play Daisy anymore, and
Right.
I just don't think it's that big of a deal
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean, it's definitely emerged as like that track for a lot of teams. You know, XI, they really just
Yeah,
love to pick that. They've kind of all none of them played Daisy, but they've kind of started running the track. Like, you know, all of them
yeah,
great
it's gained
times on, and
popularity.
yeah, for sure. Like teams love it as a running track now. Great back spam spots. You can really just break away if you're the better player. And the shock is it's really just a 50-50 hitting boxes off that ramp. I think that or BCW is what we're gonna see here from India. From NL, I'm really not sure. BC3 has still not been played. So,
Yeah, yeah, we can also talk about it from a Benelux perspective. They could just send it on BC3.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That's not a bad idea. I mean, the thing is again, like is Daisy losing its edge on some of these tracks? Like BC3 used to be such like a people would say, "Oh, it's definitely a Daisy track because the Ultra was so easy." But now you got guys going for the Ultra in first, making it every single time. So it's really not that much of an advantage. And also, if you're on Daisy on BC3 now, you gotta be pretty much uncontested to make that because now you're just getting bumped. Like pretty much hard to take an easy alignment unless your usual alignment unless you're alone. So we'll see. Still waiting on a bagger here to join the room.
I think D-Fly, if you joined us, D-Fly DC'd on DDR, which is race 2, and now he's not in the room, so
Yeah,
some unexpected net issues from
something
him.
something going on here. Do we have any word on that?
I think he
Um.
said he had to reset his hotspot, so.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
there
in
he
the room.
is.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect, perfect.
He's in the room. You guys might not be seeing that yet. I'm not sure if we're a bit ahead, but he's in the room. We'll be starting momentarily. Last 2 races
Yeah,
gonna come down to the wire. I mean, what more could you ask for?
yeah, and we actually didn't do our predictions, and because it's so close, I mean, 2 race predictions are still gonna be could go either way, so who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, really, it's just who's got the clutch, who's got it in them to really come through when it matters most. I mean, I think I'm gonna go with BNL. I think of
Ooh, okay.
Leops in his previous World Cups. I mean, he's just been clutch for his team. Jeff really looking dominant this war. And I think Leo and Dane are really, I think they've been making good plays for, maybe their roles in the team are less sort of front running, but they're really just making good plays, I think. So I'm going to go with BNL.
Yeah, I don't know. In these sort of matches, especially when it comes down to the wire, I'm always looking at who's on it right now. And like you said, Jeff is totally on. He looks like the best player in the room by far.
Yeah.
And that in itself, you need someone like that in the clutch, and I think he can deliver it. So I think we're both on board for BNL taking this one home, but the track pick could change everything.
What does the chat think about that one? I want to see some predictions down below.
And I
I'm
guess
thinking.
this would technically count as an upset because I think this is the 4 versus 5 seed. So not a big upset. Sherbalent is the pick. We did get the BCW prediction right, but it doesn't get picked. It's a huge bummer
Yeah.
for India.
And looking at the predictions in the stream chat from before the war, Benelux, 55% of people were going for Benelux. So that's pretty close. Leop's starting
Wow,
in 8th
yeah.
here.
Leops I don't see Leops as a guy that likes to start in last, but I do think a lot of hosts like to start in first or last. So, and hey,
Yeah.
Golden, he can get right back into first. So let's
This
see.
is part of the benefit of starting in 8th. You get that goal, and instead of being the guy in first getting passed by the guy shrooming up, you're that guy shrooming up. And now
Exactly.
he's going to be able to run it up from first. He's
Looks
got
like
2
Under stars
behind.
D-Fly. So Under's gonna get a free box at 30, I think. And
Really
even
well
if he
played.
didn't, he probably skipped the box and is gonna get another one in 10th. So Under, the bag battle, it could come down to that, and he's winning it right now.
Yep. Leop's running in first. Picks behind him. Opted for no item. Probably the best decision.
We
Definitely the
can
best
switch
decision.
to Emil here, because it looks like Leops is just gonna do his little niche back spams. Really good position for
Leapfly's off.
Emil.
Perfect for Emil. He's going to golden up. He's going to be really close to Leop, so we're going to have a
Just
good
don't get
1v1
back.
here.
You just cannot get backed here. Huge
Leop.
1v1 between our two
Yeah.
streamers. I think the
Between the
first
two
time we've
streamers.
seen this. And he,
Oh!
oh wow,
Wow. That's a
that's
great
just so
fib.
good. That
I
is
mean,
so good.
he opened up the Emil
Okay.
P manual, and he saw, you predict he was going to go tight there. Just a great fib. That's got to be feeling great if you're Leops. Early stock, Jake dodges in a mega.
Yeah,
He's
and
going to get the chain in third.
Under.
Interesting decision because, and Jeff
And
dodges in the
blue,
back.
is he gonna throw it? This is a huge decision here. They are gonna throw
Yeah.
it. Let's see. Look at the minimap. Is Leops gonna stop? He is.
Not
I
sure
don't know what happened. We can switch to.
someone-
I mean, at this point, I'm not sure what happened. I
Who's
don't think he got
watching the-
anyone.
Yeah. Blooper, bad pull.
Blooper
Worst
and
pull for
TC.
Jeff, you could say.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I
a
think
tough
it's top
decision.
2. I think it's top 2 for India. But one of them gets sniped. We can switch.
Over to
Leops in the
Leops.
front.
I think he hit a snipe, but he's got
Gets
Orange shooting him
bumped.
into a wall. Maybe Dane's got something good. He can use
Late
the shroom up
shock.
at the end.
Remember, late shock is a factor here. D-Fly's off the track. Under's gonna touch a box 10 here. There it
And
is.
he used the shock, and Emil looks like he dodged in a mega
In
first frame,
mega.
so he's still in the mega on other people's screen. That's a top 3.
What is
And
that?
Dane takes Leops' box.
We're just niching each other, I guess.
That's a
Doesn't
top
look like it's
3
gonna
for
matter.
India. Top 3-6. Jaker shrooming up at the end.
Oh
Wow.
my god, and the prediction is in
let's-
shambles.
It is. But you never know what's gonna happen. I
Yeah,
want to talk about
There's
the
so
shock,
much to talk about,
early
yeah.
shock from India because, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do there. I think Jaker first framed, which is interesting because sometimes the strategy is you want to let your mega, because of the slipperiness of the track, mega is just a really big advantage.
Right, yeah.
And he, like, Leops was pretty far in first. He opts to first frame that, dodges. Not sure
I
what
think
he
it's
changed.
safer. I think it's just safer. You don't want him to
Yeah.
predict that.
Yeah,
And look
I
at the
think
result.
Jeff did end up dodging, but not sure what ended up happening to him. It didn't matter. And then the blue pull there from Emil. I mean, I'm not sure how much Jaker gained on Leops, but I mean, it's kind of maybe he made a decision like, is it better for Emil to like throw the blue and Jaker just lets Leops stay in first and get blued? But maybe if Jaker thinks he can overtake, then that's a guaranteed first, holding the blue most likely. And if he gets hit out, then you've got the blue on Leops. Like,
Yeah,
tough choice. What do you
I-
want to hold?
Yeah. I was watching that. I don't think Jaker was gonna get into first. So
Right.
they knew they were gonna throw blue, but Emil still waited, so Jaker had enough time to just distance himself before the blue came. And
Yeah.
because of that, Leop slowed down, but Jaker was just able to maneuver his way past him. And same with Pix. He did get sniped later in the race, but we saw a second shot because they used it lap 2. Last set, they get a second one.
Yeah.
Emil's saying spam it, and they get it. And now we're on to
Last
last
race.
race.
Plus 15 here
BNL.
for India.
This is BNL's track pick. India couldn't get BCW. They tried to get BCW both times, and they couldn't get it. That could come down to kill their 2-0 dream. But here we go.
Some shenanigans there. Didn't get the draft off his team. Should shroom up here, but I mean, there's Ornum with
Gets
the
back
greens
instantly.
and just
Wow.
hit. Wow. I mean, Golden there's really good, but
Yeah.
nicely maneuvered there. Hard to get a draft there with the thwomp sliding, but it's looked like India, again, back to what we said
Oh
earlier,
my
handled this really
God.
well. Leo did get into first though, so 1-4.
Yeah, Leo doing
He's-
everything he can. But
Yeah,
Leops has got hit 3 times already. You barely see Leops get hit twice in a race. And if you're new to Mario Kart Wii, this track is notorious for backspam, and we're seeing Leops just get decimated by backspam after backspam.
and failing the rail. I mean, it's just not looking good for him right now.
Yeah, BNL
Kane in last.
3 of the bottom 4.
But it's still Leo in first. He's doing a good job of holding it down up
Yeah.
there. Now he's really
And-
just got to try to get crafty, hit some backspams.
Under's
Mega
driving
is hit-
forward.
Under
Under's
driving
driving
forward.
forward. Leops
I
is gonna try
think
to
he's
Mega
got
him for
it.
sure.
That would be definitely the best play.
This
I
could be the
mean,
play of the game right here.
Did he get him? Did he get him? I think he did. They definitely got him. Someone was in
I
a
think
star and
They
someone was in a
both
mega.
wasted their dodges to get him, but that could be a match-winning play because DeFi is in last place now.
In 10th, yeah.
If
But they
BNL
used-
win, we have to look back at that play.
Yeah. 2 dodges, that's a pretty big investment. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
not sure if Leops got him there, but whoever it was that used the star just really wanted the insurance that they got out. Another mega for Leops, though.
Yeah, Leo is still in first. We can switch to Emil here because it looks like maybe we have a better eye on Leo. If he gets sniped here, this
God,
war
it's
could be
backspam.
over.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
maybe it's true
backspams.
because I haven't seen many backspam attempts, or I don't think he's hit anyone. But he's really just doing a great
No,
job.
He
I
has,
mean,
he has Fib in first. There's the shock.
There's
We
the
should
shock.
switch to Leops here. Can Leops do something? He does dodge in his
he
mega. He hits
dodged up, and
pow.
he chained the pow. I mean, when they're small, that's an interesting pow. Getting his teammate into the set so he won't get pow redded. That's
Oh,
top
this
two.
is
It should
gonna
be a
come down
close
to the
1v1.
wire. Oh,
Hornet
he
hits
loses.
banana.
He has Shroom though. He has Shroom.
Can
Top
he
2
get
is
the
not
trail?
enough.
They gotta
They
hit
have
Hornet
to
out.
hit
They
him.
gotta
They
hit
have to hit him
Emil
for
as
the
well.
win. For a
Can he
chance to
do
win.
some- They
Oh
both
my
banana.
God. Now Emil in second place.
That's
It's
2
2, 3, 4. He doesn't get
Gotta
an
go for
item
rail.
either. Leo has to do everything he can. And I don't think it's enough.
I don't think so. I think Jeff and Dane. I think Jeff was just out of the race.
There's a green line crossing right now. They got last. BNL got last. I don't think they can win if they did get last because they didn't get second. I think they got maybe 1, 3, 4, 8. And that wouldn't be enough.
That would not be enough.
So
They needed.
I don't even think they got that.
I think they needed a bottom 2 from NL and probably a top 2 themselves. Like top 2, 4 would have maybe made it close, but I think that's
Yeah.
1, 3, 5, 8. Jeff was just in last that race. I mean, maybe we jinxed him. We were saying he looked like the best player in the room. Not sure what happened to him, but he was just kind of nowhere to be seen lap 3. But wow,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
mean,
a win for India. Pending any trolls, I don't think we have any. I don't have access to the rep chat, so
Yeah, it
Just
doesn't look like
to-
there's a troll pen. That is really an incredible last 2 races. So much
Wow.
action there. It literally came down to that last turn. Leo tried to hit a green on Emil. It didn't hit. We saw really smart play from Leops, getting rid of the shock to give his team a chance at winning. And who knows, if he doesn't get POW, if he
Yeah.
gets triple reds there,
shrooms, triple
they
reds.
could win.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an unfortunate chain, and he tried his best with what he had. I mean, the POW, there's 2 options. You could try to get some sort of target POW on the set, like after they've resized, after the set, on India's 2-3, but then you're risking a POW red on your first. I think he made the right call and
Yeah, that's
Ornan just
it's
got
such a tough one.
I think got triple shrooms in 4, and then he shrooms up, and I mean, yeah, he really tried his best with those bananas. Definitely some advanced strategies there with the swerving inside, taking weird lines, but they both end up hitting the banana at the top of the spiral, and then all of India just came up, none of BNL. Wow. Looks like
Yeah,
I don't know what we're
eh,
watching right now,
I
unless there
think
was a
everyone's
minus
just
10.
gonna
I think
sit
everyone's just gonna sit
BC here.
BC. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so many talking points from that last two races. I think there's so many ways that Benelux could have won, depending on items, depending on like Leo hitting a back spam. It didn't look like he hit anyone really. I think he got Dane at the end of lap 2 on the spiral.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really all that he did. So really well played by India. I
India.
think Under is just so glad that they win that because
Yep.
like we all knew what was gonna happen. He had no escape
Yep. He
and
had the runners in front of him. It's you can't, and you have no shrooms to get away or anything. You're holding the shock. You can't really do anything. You're trapped between runners. You don't want to get a cheesy minus 10, minus 5 wheelie bump on that last race. He got trapped, gets mega. I mean, it worked out exactly as Leops wanted. But I think it does kind of come down to. I mean, I think Leo, he's like, for BNL, like I think he's just not the guy, right? Like you'd probably want Jeff or Leops in first, trying to get those backslams. He did a very good job of running in first, not hitting any walls. Probably better than I could have done. But on that World Cup stage, like you just got to try to hit those guys, and I don't think he hit one back spam. So
yeah,
that might have
and
been the difference. Plus 10 WAR, Emil P getting the MVP. Wow, like what a match for my first cast.
yeah, unbelievable match. But don't go anywhere because once this stream ends, I think the next stream is going up instantly, and we have US North versus England. Pretty much a rematch of a finals from a few years back. So if you enjoy our cast, you're definitely gonna enjoy the next one because we have a casting star in Iric who's gonna be taking the spotlight, and Henry as well. Two phenomenal casters with great energy. So I think that will be it from us. This has
Yep.
been me and Brisk and Boodog as our stream host. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you probably in 20-ish minutes, maybe earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. See ya.
Enjoy the next match. Thanks for watching.